Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to recognize and celebrate the union of 2009 Z06 powertrain and 1963 Corvette Custom Roadster all-tube chassis. If anyone has a comment or concern, please indicate or forever hold your peace. Line up these holes and then we can start to come down. And it'll set on the cradle. It's a solid surface. I mean, so if we grab the car and don't go below the table, okay? Just keep the height of the table like a cascade. We should be able to clear it and then set it down. Obviously the engine is much taller than the rear, so whoever's up front, and maybe have to lift just slightly. The back end is more heavy.
Oh, snacks.
Safety is sexy, so I don't want any strained backs or strained arms or legs or, no, I want no injuries. This is not worth someone's significant. When I say significant, minor injuries, So I would suggest that the back end is more heavy, but we're gonna need some height up front. Let's do like a 5-second lift and just hold it, and then set it back on the table just to get a feel. Okay? Okay with that? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
That's not too bad.
No.
Okay, back down.
Not unless somebody else has it all.
Who's doing all the work?
Brother Baby's like, what are you talking about? This
That didn't
is
feel like I had, right?
Maybe hand me like work.
It's like, did we lift yet?
Well, we haven't. We'll see how heavy it gets when we start moving.
That's right.
Yeah, 20 seconds.
Okay, so there are some commitment points. Once where Ruben is, once that clears the table,
Yeah.
we're kind of committed. If we have to, we can set it down. Once we get off the shelf and once we start going over the powertrain, we're committed.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be able to set it down halfway.
Watch your step going off the step.
Yeah, there's a step here, so keep your eyes open. And who's driving? I want some car noises.
If I can get in it.
With us all carrying. Stacy should get in. I agree. You feel like you're chariot. You'd be like Cleopatra, and we're all just carrying you.
And you see,
We got the smelling salts.
last one test. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Watch the bars on the table.
Are we clear?
Yep, one more.
Watch the step. Watch the step. Watch the step.
We're doing this in flip-flops.
This is how I frame too. I have like 3 or 4 holes in mine.
Okay, look at your cradle points. Look at your cradle points. Okay.
This is how I frame too. I have like 3 or 4 holes in mine.
I have to say thank you for your help, guys. This is
Watch your step. Watch your knees.
okay, look at your cradle points. Look at your cradle points. Okay. Ease it down onto the cradle.
The camera thing.
The legs.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ready to go back up a little bit?
Did you get that out of there?
Yeah.
Yeah, grab the camera.
For your, I just don't
Had to
have
be something minor like that.
Anybody have their shoes tied while I'm
All
under
this
here?
planning, all this. All right. As you go down. All right. As you go down. By the power that's manifested in me as the builder, I dubbed the 2009 Z06 powertrain and 1963 Corvette Custom Roadster all-tube chassis, bonded with hardware.
Yeah, where we off?
We're good over here.
We're not down
We're
here.
not down.
Okay.
This isn't down over here.
We're up on something. Because we're not down on
We're not
that.
down here. We're down in the back here, but not in the front.
We're right on your 1 inch.
Same here. So on this side, you got about that much gap between the.
An inch and a half between.
Yep, I'm sitting right on it.
Is it on the shifter?
Yeah, shifter rod.
Yeah, you're connected on it. That's where the pivot point is.
Oh, shoot.
Well, here's the picture. It's raised up for the blocks of wood holding the rear end, but hoop, which is hoop number 4, hits and sits on the shift linkage. I can't. I was so frustrated, so frustrated. After all that work, all that planning, oh man. We're not even at the honeymoon yet, and it already has a problem.
Once we get the wood out, it should be. You know, Ron's right. You know, there was only like an inch over there. It was about an inch and a half, almost 2 up here.
Oh, so the rear cradle can pivot. There's only a mount to it, it'll pivot like this.
I have the hood. I'll grab the hood.
Oh yeah, let's see it. It fits. That's awesome.
Picture in my head, and so far we're hitting all the points. So for this cradle and the shift linkage, the only option at this point was to notch out the hoop, which you can see here. Okay, once we got the shift linkage clearance for that hoop, we were able to sit the chassis down on the cradle to then allow for the 8 bolts to be secured. You can see here in the picture, there's 4 up front and 4 in the rear. In the picture showing 2 on each side. That's a grade 8 1/2-inch bolt that runs through the chassis, goes through the cradle and bolts and securing the chassis onto the cradles. So once the chassis is secured, then we can start assembly, and we start with the upper A-arms in the front and in the rear. So now that we have the chassis connected and installed to the cradles and the upper A-arms installed, we can now continue with the assembly. We have the steering box already installed. The steering shaft, which connects down to the rack and pinion. Of course, we have the pedals that come off the steering box. Here we have the brake booster and brake reservoir installed and connecting to the ABS pump. the rear panels and the gas tanks here are installed. Here you see the skid plates for the gas tanks. And then we have the steering column. And to finish this off, a sump pump, which is installed and connected to the engine block. Then we installed the rotors, calipers, and to finish it off, the tires and wheels.
Before you sit down, just take it in. Come sit over here and take it in.
So we're gonna touch the ground for the first time. Give this a go here. And 3. We gotta adjust the camber and the toe still, but there we go. We're gonna be landing on that. There it is.
Look at that.
Dude, that's almost sitting.
Whoa.
Wow.
Look how low that is.
Gosh. I didn't know it was gonna be this low. Yes. That is sick. I love it.
Look, come look at the back tires to this. This looks awesome, dude.
I hope you've been enjoying episode 9 as we dub the marriage and all of its exciting moments. There's a few minor issues that will be addressed in the upcoming episodes, so stay tuned for those. Episode 10, we'll go over the power or the wire harness and some of its successes and failures. We'll get to hopefully the engine start by then. Some of the accessories and things that we're putting this together to go out and get its first road test. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed somewhat of the silliness of the marriage ceremony. It was a huge accomplishment or a huge moment in time, so to speak, for this project. All those who have helped, especially you as the viewer, thank you for watching. Hope you can continue to do so. Share, like, and subscribe. I would really appreciate your help. But until then, let's get back to the party, and I need to find some cake. This is gonna be silly. Bonded with hardware. Sorry. May your union be strong and blah, blah, blah.